Hello everybody, hope all of you are doing well and been having a great time. Now this time me Nasser presenting on no eviction rent relief in COVID time with better housing. I participated in the Democracy Talks What Matters to You activity on the second day of civic engagement training led by Badrudduza, a community engagement coordinator in North York Community House. On that day I chose two issues like better housing, better education system and two other issues that matter to me like freedom of religion and family ties. For each issues I thought about why it is important, what are the changes I would like to see. So reason why today I am presenting this important issue on no eviction, rent relief in COVID time with better housing. The remainder of this presentation is organized as this outline: introduction, goal and overall description of the topic, related working approach and engagement, and conclusion. We know housing as a fundamental human right, the right to live somewhere in security, peace and dignity. Everyone has a fundamental human right to adequate housing, especially in COVID-19, where people are advised to stay home, to stay safe. I chose the civic action in progress that I would like to support and engage in East York Tenant Union with People's Defense, which is a community organization of working class people in Toronto, fighting to build political power for our class, block by block, building by building. Our goal is to ensure no community and new migrant people become homeless due to eviction and rent relief during COVID-19. Before going to in details, if we watch the next video, we can understand what crisis is happening in the city of Toronto now.
With business closures and layoffs across the country, renters in Toronto are voicing their concerns about making their rent payments, struggling to make ends meet as the COVID-19 outbreak continues.
This tenant, a laid-off factory worker, says even with government help, he can't afford to look after his family and rent.
If you have a choice between putting food on your table or paying rent, you're putting food on your table. People will not be evicted.
And now residents who took part in the Keep Your Rent movement say they have been experiencing harassing behavior at the hands of their landlords.
This COVID is nothing.
Oh my God, don't feel that we're losing our family. Our family died.
Mayor Tory said yesterday that he wished he had magical powers to stop evictions. There is no need to resort to magic. Mayor Tory has the legal power to ban evictions in Toronto today.
This person behind me who lives in this house is responsible for killing almost 100 residents of a long-term care home.
Mr. Friedman, how can you sleep at night knowing that people died because you were cheap?
Bye! Don't come back! Don't come back!
Now moving on, related working approaches and engagements. I am lucky that name of my elected representative is MPP Rima Ban McGowan, who represents the Beaches East York, Ontario riding and holds a prominent role as opposition critic from NDP in poverty and homelessness. We also made engage our councillor Bradford, who is a member of Planning and Housing Committee and member of Toronto and East York Community Council, and MP Nathaniel Eskine Smith. Among them, MPP Rima helped us a lot by delivering her valuable effective speech in physically and have been participating online in some of tenants' evictions and rent arrears hearing meeting in the LTB. We organized tenant by knocking door to door, sending SMS, leaflet, online group chatting, and posting in social media like Facebook, Twitter, also organizing community people and news media with banner of procession in the street. At present, we see the average amount landlord asks for rent according to City News is 1.5 times the average amounts are currently paying. For one bedroom asking 43% higher, for two bedroom asking 70% higher, and for all units asking 47% higher, whereas for 1,854 in rent, income needed is $74,160 per year. So that Crescenttown Tenants Union, which is part of the East York Tenants Union in East York, we have called for the main landlord, Pinedale Properties, to negotiate rent payment plans, and negotiation should happen collectively through the union rather than individually. The importance of collective negotiation is clear from the intimidation tactics. In fact, housing in Toronto was unaffordable even more COVID-19 crisis started. Primarily because market gouging and profiteering have enriched big corporate landlords that monopolize shelter ownership. Working class renters do not pay for a crisis that comes mainly from government policies that have enriched the real estate sector and big landlords consistently for more than 3 decades. Indeed, the astonishingly high income of big landlords stayed untouched by the COVID-19 crisis. It should be compensated for by them. The COVID-19 response measures taken by different levels of government have benefited landlords at the expense of tenants. Authorities are more willing to protect landlords' right to provide profit, including through police force rather than the human rights. In the video clips, we saw 55 division police forces were engaged for evictions. Now come to the moving conclusion. Since corporate commercial large landlords have caused the crisis issue, politicians must use them emergency powers to take drastic measures that would immediately alleviate this crisis and improve the lives of tenants who are facing homelessness while also curbing the spread of COVID-19. I want to see the change that tenants have been organizing to fight evictions and ensure that working class and racialized residents stay sheltered through the COVID-19 global pandemic in order to defend themselves and their neighborhoods. The moratorium on evictions could be retroactive to 1st August 2020, as it is important to let evicted tenants move into their apartments. Big corporate commercial landlords should pay them compensation. If the provincial government is unwilling, then City of Toronto officials, the Chief Medical Health Officer and Mayor should. Tenants who have been unable to pay rents should have their arrears forgiven, and the rents of those who are unable to pay on an ongoing basis should also be forgiven. Large landlords should absorb 100% of the cost of forgiving arrears and suspended rents. Significant fines on landlords that breach the moratorium should be enforced. Public rental incentives can only be used to compensate small rental owners who own less than 5 rental units. We see as Black Lives Matter. As such, immigrant lives matter, so tenant lives matter. Because 47% of people in Toronto are tenant and immigrants, and more than 21% are immigrants in whole Canada. If government doesn't see this immigrants tenancy matter, then the economy will be locked down as like lockdown in pandemic. Thank you.